Good morning, everyone. Oh, actually, good afternoon, everyone. I have been a busy little bee. I mean, when you look at what's going on in your life and you're like, you got to get your ducks in a row, I I decided that's what I needed to do. And I like to do my justice my way because our justice system is so broken and corrupt. So again, it's like I need a trumpet to sound. Today's my bonus day 71 that I've been down this time around. It's the worst episode I've had yet. But what attempts to kill us only makes us stronger. I may not be 100%, but the good Lord keeps my eternal flame burning strong so that I can help fight evil. My temp is staying up as I'm fighting off congestive heart failure. I mean, I certainly don't need a professional to diagnose me with it. I have all the symptoms based on their handy dandy little charts. So I should be scared and fear death, right? I mean, that's what they want us all to think. Just saying. Fear is for the weak. And I used to be weak in a sense because I was not practicing complete obedience. Why did God allow my sinful behavior? My guess is for more missing pieces to this ongoing puzzle of life. I needed to see the world for what it was becoming. As a tax collector, it gave me insight on a world I did not know. A world filled with lies and corruption, where humans are constantly worked to death. I wanted to use my voice for good, yet at the time I was so engulfed in man's world, I was unable to do so. If I could do a timeline, it would look something like this. So brace yourselves. Strong, independent woman, tax collector, that loves life, meets man in 2017. Man, aka cold hearted snake, brings an apple to the teacher. Oh, brother. My father, birth father, loses his will to live. Hospital says there's nothing left to do. Hospice is called. I entered tax returns while assisting hospice with my father's care while watching him starve to death, lying in wait in fear. It was horrific to do that. Made notes on father's life for obituary that I had to ask for help in executing since I physically could not write it out myself. No one in the family offered to help. No one. Told by various family members the care I had given my father was inhumane. I seriously cannot make this crap up. Man picks up father's ashes as I physically could not. Ridiculed by tax clients for filing extensions. Received a call from a corporate client after hours at my father's celebration of life. Are our taxes done yet? Are they going to be filed on time? True story. Clients yank business because how dare I take care of my father and not file their bloody taxes? Grief stricken after loss of father called doctor for help. BP shoots up on April 14th of 2019 and I'm hospitalized. Nuclear stress test and nothing is wrong with my heart. Asked by two doctors standing at the end of my bed on April 15th of 2019, are you done yet? And told if I continue on this level of stress in my accounting practice, I will die with a healthy heart. Man flies home to pick me up from the hospital. Released from hospital, man drives me to Elkhart office to assist in extensions already being processed by volunteers. Chest pain increases and given BP med from man since RX was not ready and man was already on blood pressure medication. Not wanting drugs. After that, I didn't want drugs and I was still grief stricken, so I called back my doctor. Well, what does he do? Prescribe me more drugs. More mind altering poison. To help still my grief stricken over the loss of my father. Call doctor on October 14th, 2019, not meeting deadlines. Doctor's office never returns call even to this day. October 15th, in tears, drive to my Elkhart office. October 15th, 2019. Finished one tax return that later client called having more info. and was excited extension was filed to lower taxable income. That was a great day. Ate dinner with lifelong friends after I finally said enough is enough that I've had since high school and begged me to spend the night. Went home to Green Acres because nobody was available in the country to help out, and I had to take care of my girls. Man calls to ask how day went. In tears, I'm telling him how bad it is. Ends relationship over the phone, not on video chat. Truly cold-hearted Snake. Tell Snake, when you wake up tomorrow and I'm not here, you will have to live with that decision for the rest of your life because I will be dead. Then I hung up. Snake called no one, found another filly to poison. Xanax bottle on table in front of me, took over 50, chasing them with 3 bottles of wine. I seriously was eating them like popcorn. Sorry about that. Texted and called multiple people, only 2. Called 911. The rest made excuses, including the snake. Woke up in hospital as tube was being pulled out of my throat and bed restraints loosened, crying out to God. What do you want from me? I don't know what you want. Under 24/7 watch with a nurse or staff member with me at all times. Informed me killing yourself is illegal and after release will be sent to the nut house. Of course, they called it something else. I might as well call it what it is. Introduced patients and staff to Jesus at the nut house. I was taken in a squad car to the hospital from the nut house for scan of my wrist having issues with, remember, I'm a prisoner because I disobeyed the tyrant regime's poisoning, wanting to kill myself. Released from nut house, telling group leader that he won't ever see me again. He says that's what they all say. I tell him I'm not like everyone else. Received random call on my birthday, All Saints Day, 11/1/2019. Thank you, Lord, for that gift. From firm interested in buying accounting practice that was not on the market to sell. Part of my, God, what do you want from me? What am I supposed to do? Agree to the sale and sign papers for 3-year payout on Veterans Day, 2019. I believe it was 11/11. Start landscaping Green Acres in between attending mandatory group and one-on-one counseling sessions. Cleaned out my Elkhart office and delivered records to bio. Became extremely sick with massive head pain in January of 2020. Go to the ER Goshen Hospital and told take 2 Tylenol and 3 ibuprofen, then called in an RX of acid reflux medication. Okay, I had already been taking 4 ibuprofens and 3 extra strength Tylenols. So their little remedy I knew wasn't going to help me. And they obviously could have cared less about my health. They just sent me on my merry way. So a few days later, I attended my group session in Fort Wayne. Then I met with my one-on-one counselor, telling her I needed to go to walk-in clinic. She wanted to cancel my session so I could get to the clinic. And I said, no, I want to have my session and then I'll go. And I promised her I would do that, and I fulfilled that promise. When I arrived at the walk-in clinic in Fort Wayne, there was a former EF staff member that came to talk to me. And he heard my story and immediately wants me to go to the ER, stating, you could have blood clots in your brain. And is concerned for my life, asks if I want driven there, but I choose to drive since it's a mile away. Upon arriving at the ER, my BP was 201 over 100 and something. They put me in the ER room. Tests run, then told being released when I feel worse than I did when I arrived. I demanded a doctor that released me to drive me home and take care of me in the country, or get me another doctor so that I can stay. Remember, Goshen Hospital released me, and now I'm there, and I'm about to be admitted. New doctor comes in and sits on a rolling chair right beside me to hear my story, taking notes with pen and paper. Lord, I need to thank that doctor. Wow, what a gift. Admitted by doctor that says, we are going to help you. I was there for one night. They transferred me to a Parkview Health, where there are teams of neurologists studying my records. Had multiple allergic reactions. Snake flies into town and stays with me. His conscience is finally eating him alive. Night before release, have a stroke. I can clearly see in my face, yet doctors assure me it was nothing because they rolled me in for a CT scan. You know, they don't know how to read them, so of course they're going to tell me I didn't have that. Or do they really know how to read them and they just don't want me to know? It's part of their whole ploy. Primary physician Dr. Peachin in Goshen agrees my body does not process pharmaceuticals and encourages holistic care with updates. Packed up Green Acres for move to the Florida Keys after transforming Green Acres into a beautiful Garden of Eden from a place that was full of darkness and hell. Arrive in the Florida Keys and unpack as I'm struggling with my health and remains my health care a full-time job. February 2021, need ambulance because head pain was unbearable. Taken to the Lower Keys Hospital in Key West, don't ever go there. Beg paramedics for pain meds in the ambulance while shouting to God, you can take me if you want, since the pain I cannot handle. Kicked out of bed in the ER, claiming I denied medical care when that's not what happened. I could barely walk and the nurse was ferocious. She could have cared less. Just get rid of me. Get me out of there. Called administrator telling what I went through, and he talked to me like I was a little kid. Are you going to behave yourself when you get another doctor? Excuse me, what? What in the frick are you talking about? New doctor comes in and tells me no one moves to the Florida Keys when they are sick, and there's no neurologist on the island. Well, that's another lie. Church members at Grace Lutheran in Key West have neurologists that are, in fact, on the island. Driven by a new friend to Baptist Hospital after realizing by this doctor is zero help as well in the same hospital, Lower Keys. Yeah, in Florida. Key West, yeah, don't go there. No matter what was happening, I was not staying in that hospital for additional poisoning or possibly death. Doctor walks into room with old-fashioned doctor bag at the Baptist Hospital, north of Marathon, telling me that they're going to help. Orders an MRI that doesn't accept my out-of-state insurance to be done at a later date. Need transfer home and Snake refuses to help. Call BFF in Elkhart and he finds me a driver. Take medical seeking trip to Indiana to see 6 neurologists in April of 2021. She gives me, Harvard grad, a diagnosis that went in one ear and out the other because it's just a bunch of BS. She gives me a diagnosis and more poisoning in my legs, which I already told her I was allergic to pharmaceuticals. Fly to Miami and finally get answers. Meet with the Tooth Genie, Dr. Gorbatov in Hollywood, Florida, and Dr. Lonnie Herman in Davie, Florida. They know how to read my scans. Tooth Genie extracts a total of 9 teeth in 2 visits, with bone grafts in my upper and lower jaws. And I use Delta 9 for pain management, not poison pharmaceuticals. Dr. Herman formulates holistic medicines and purified water to take the poisons out of my body that man's world has put in. Tests what food, etc. allergies to, and I adhere to his instructions. September 2021, meet with Dr. Herman again, and he is shocked by my recovery and excited to get more poisons out of my body. October, I start feeling like I'm dying again, so I call Dr. Herman. Test positive to all 3 antidotes and await remedies. Test positive to Moderna in December, and also COVID for the first time, not having any symptoms. Then I was told in January that the house was going up for sale after I was offered and accepted to extend my lease for another year. They said it was no longer on the table in January, and I need to get out by the end of the month. I'm like, well, that's not 30-day notice, and I know I have rights. Plus, I was incapacitated with my health. Let's just be honest. I'm still fighting all the poisons from the tyrant regime. I told the landlord I had rights. Sued for wrongful eviction. Asked for help from attorney former friend Michael Halpern, known as St. Michael in the Florida Keys. There's no saint in St. Michael of this Michael, I assure you. Email Michael info on the case that he says he can help me with. Michael offers to write it up for me, as he is an attorney from Manhattan originally. Moved down here in the 70s and never left. Michael had me meet him at his home in Shark Key to pick up my paperwork. Not uncommon to meet somebody in this day and age at their home for paperwork, don't you think? Just a common thing. He invited me into his bedroom to pick up the paperwork, though. I smell a rat, since he does pro bono cases for battered women. Unable to form a complete sentence after inviting me to sit beside him, patting on the bed, lays down on his bed. Michael, as he's lying on his bed, asks if I want to take a swim. I'm in athletic wear. I decline and respond, maybe another time when I have a bathing suit. Don't you think that would be a better idea? Michael responds, anytime. I offer to pay him for what he did, and he declined. I said, well, then dinner on me sometime, and he agreed. Received notice in mail, judge ruled in favor of landlords, which was a slam dunk case on my end, and I was completely caught off guard. Reach out to Michael to file appeal, and he doesn't respond. Text Michael, why isn't he helping? Because I didn't crawl in bed with him, nor swim naked in his pool. Immediately responds, I'm sorry you feel that way. What would you like me to do? See how you catch him? You throw out the net. I reeled him right in. It's funny how you learn to read the Bible and you see how the Lord did that too. Also upset that I'm demanding his help and uses pro bono as his defense. Remember, I offered to pay and he declined payment. Sheriff delivers papers and I text Michael. He tells me to start a new life pretty much and walk away. Snake is notified about lawsuit and check that I issued to the courts for full payment of lease. Snake closes bank account days later. After text message without notifying me, nor did Lake City Bank in Goshen notify me either. Snake calls into the bank since he's on the account and closes it with another one of his fillies within the bank. The POA was not submitted for closure, and again, I was given zero notice for a bank account where I was the primary holder on the account. Still to this day, never got notice. Text Michael that they cannot take my corporate stuff in the house. They locked up like a prison. Now I understand how the corruption clearly works in the Florida Keys with their decoy cop cars everywhere. Sorry, folks, but I'm not scared of you. Test positive again to all 3 antidotes in May, and today is day 71, fighting for my life. You see, in my factual timeline, which there's so much more I could add, how I was poisoned constantly trusting a system designed to heal, not kill. We have to stop them, and uniting in love under God is the only way. They worship the devil and continuing to poison all of us. How? With all those businesses, they own full access. They have full access to put it in the food and the water and whatever, beverages, you name it. I'm still trying to get out high fructose corn syrup because that is, in fact, poison in my body as well. Sounds like syrup that you could just pour out of a bottle, but that it is not. It's time we, the people, use our voices to bring out the truth amidst all their ongoing lies and corruption. God will win, even if more lives are sacrificed along the way, including my own. We will win this with God, united as one. So, anybody wants to know I didn't qualify for disability? How is that even possible? Yet the psychiatrist that I met with knew I wasn't going to qualify, so wanted me to call him in that event and that he would hook me up with some doctors that would basically feed me my lines so that I would qualify. I'm not going to lie in order to obtain disability when I clearly qualify with what I've been dealing with. My full-time job is taking care of my health care. Period. The end. 71 days down. I need assistance for my dog. I can't physically take her out myself. I get kicked out of the swimming pool here and file with the Department of Justice a disability. They violated my rights as a disabled individual with a service dog. I don't give a damn if their system doesn't say I get their stuff. I am disabled. Period. The end. Everybody can see it around here. They've been having to cart me around on golf carts. It's not something that's news. This is ever since I've been here since March. I have gone from here to here, where I'm at right now. So this is how you are detailed oriented in your life. You have to make sure that there is no stone unturned. And unfortunately, every stone I turned over, there was more corruption. So why does God want me still here? Because he wants me to continue to use my voice for the greater good and to stop this evil nonsense once and for all. That Commonwealth opening games put me right over the edge, them worshiping the frickin' devil, and I can't handle that. Nor should any of you. So if we band together, unite as one under God, we can win this. Love to all bunches and bunches. Bye.